Most men completely underestimate how powerful physical touch becomes when emotional attraction is involved. A single touch lasting only a few seconds can activate powerful emotional chemicals inside a woman's brain, especially oxytocin, the hormone connected to bonding, comfort, and emotional attachment. And yet, most men never learn the difference between a touch that creates emotional closeness and a touch that instantly destroys attraction. That difference changes everything psychologically. Mature women especially do not fall deeply through words alone anymore. They have heard compliments, promises, and rehearsed romantic lines their entire lives. What affects them now is emotional presence communicated without speaking. Touch becomes powerful because it communicates safety, confidence, calmness, desire, and emotional attention simultaneously. And today, we are breaking down 5 specific touches that create that emotional response naturally when done with genuine awareness and emotional intelligence. The first touch is the slow lower back guide, and psychologically, this touch is far more powerful than most men realize. When you gently place your hand on the small of a woman's back while guiding her through a doorway, walking beside her, or moving through a crowded place, you activate one of the most sensitive areas connected to emotional processing and physical awareness. But the key is calmness and pressure control. A quick tap feels impersonal. A forceful push feels controlling. A slow, steady placement communicates something entirely different emotionally. It signals protection, awareness, and grounded confidence without aggression. Mature women especially respond deeply to this because many have spent years carrying emotional weight alone. A calm, guiding touch can quietly communicate, "You are safe with me." And that emotional feeling often becomes more powerful than verbal attraction itself psychologically. The second touch is the two-handed handhold, and this one creates emotional closeness almost instantly when done naturally. Most people hold hands casually, but this touch feels different psychologically because both of your hands are fully focused on one of hers. Maybe she is sharing something personal, maybe the conversation becomes emotional, or maybe there is simply a quiet moment between both of you. When you cradle her hand gently with both of yours, it communicates full emotional presence and attention. Psychologically, this activates feelings of comfort, warmth, and emotional safety, because your focus feels completely centered on her in that moment. Mature women notice this deeply because many have experienced relationships where physical presence existed without emotional attention. A man who gives calm, focused affection through simple touch immediately feels emotionally different from men operating on distraction, performance, or emotional inconsistency constantly. The third touch is the forehead touch, and emotionally this one carries enormous psychological weight. Gently pressing your forehead against hers while both of you stay quiet for a few seconds creates a level of emotional intimacy words often cannot reach. This touch works because it requires emotional stillness, closeness, and vulnerability from both people at the same time. There is no performance, no forced escalation, and no need to impress. It simply communicates emotional presence. Mature women especially respond strongly to this because they instantly recognize the difference between physical desire and emotional connection. A man comfortable enough to slow down and simply share a quiet moment without rushing creates emotional trust naturally. And psychologically, moments of calm intimacy often become more memorable than dramatic romantic gestures because they make a woman feel emotionally safe, emotionally seen, and emotionally understood simultaneously. The fourth touch is the back of the neck touch, and this one creates a powerful mix of attraction and emotional trust simultaneously. The back of the neck is one of the most sensitive and vulnerable areas on the human body because it contains countless nerve endings connected to emotional and physical awareness. When a man gently places his hand near the back of a woman's neck during a close conversation or quiet moment, her brain instantly evaluates whether the touch feels safe, calm, and emotionally grounded. If it does, attraction increases rapidly. Mature women especially recognize what this touch communicates psychologically. It signals confidence without force, desire without desperation, and emotional calmness without performance. But timing matters completely here. This touch only works after comfort and trust already exist emotionally. Otherwise, it feels intrusive instead of intimate. Emotional intelligence is what separates attraction from discomfort psychologically in moments like this. The fifth touch is the slow thumb stroke, and psychologically, this might be the most emotionally powerful touch on the entire list. This usually happens while already holding her hand, resting your hand on her shoulder, or touching her arm gently during conversation. Without drawing attention to it, your thumb slowly moves back and forth across her skin in a calm, rhythmic motion. What makes this so powerful is that the human nervous system responds very strongly to slow, repetitive touch connected to emotional safety and bonding. Her brain begins associating your presence with comfort, warmth, and closeness automatically. Mature women especially feel the emotional difference because this touch feels effortless instead of performative. It communicates tenderness naturally without trying too hard. And often, the touches that feel small physically become the ones women remember emotionally long after the moment itself has already passed psychologically. What makes these touches so effective is not just physical contact itself, but the emotional meaning communicated underneath them psychologically. Most men approach touch with nervousness, pressure, or hidden expectations, and women immediately feel that energy emotionally. But intentional touch works differently. It communicates calmness, attention, emotional presence, and grounded confidence without needing constant verbal reassurance. Mature women especially become highly sensitive to emotional energy because experience teaches them the difference between genuine connection and performative attraction. That is why slow, respectful, emotionally aware touch creates stronger attraction than aggressive flirting ever could. A woman remembers how you made her nervous system feel around you. She remembers whether your presence felt emotionally safe, emotionally calming, and emotionally real. And psychologically, that emotional memory often becomes far more powerful than physical appearance alone ever realistically could. Another reason these touches create such powerful emotional reactions is because they slow everything down psychologically. Modern dating often feels rushed, distracted, and emotionally disconnected. Most people are so focused on impressing each other that they never fully become emotionally present in the moment itself. But intentional touch creates emotional stillness. It forces both people to become aware of closeness, breathing, body language, and emotional energy naturally. Mature women especially crave this kind of emotional presence because many have spent years around men who were physically there, but mentally somewhere else entirely. A man who can stay calm, grounded, and emotionally attentive through simple touch immediately feels rare, and rarity creates attraction. Women do not just remember what you said during intimate moments. They remember how emotionally safe, emotionally relaxed, and emotionally connected your presence made them quietly feel inside psychologically. Many men mistakenly believe attraction is created through grand gestures, expensive dates, constant compliments, or perfectly rehearsed words. But emotionally intelligent women usually respond much more deeply to subtle consistency and emotional awareness instead. A calm hand on her lower back, a slow thumb stroke during conversation, or a long, quiet moment of closeness often affects her more strongly than dramatic romantic performances ever could. Why? Because psychologically, these touches communicate emotional sincerity. They feel natural instead of forced. Mature women especially become drawn toward men whose affection feels emotionally grounded rather than emotionally needy. Touch becomes unforgettable when it communicates, "I see you, I value you, and I am fully present with you right now." And honestly, that level of emotional presence has become increasingly rare in modern relationships today psychologically.